Well, hi. Recently, I saw a clip of Carl Sagan, and of course, most of you remember Carl Sagan who are old enough to remember the Cosmos series, and he was kind of like the heavy hitter a number of years ago for um, atheistic evolution and the rest. And he said in one of his final interviews, he said it, and I'm paraphrasing, these aren't the exact words, but he said, like, question everything. Question everything. And he said, don't believe the religious charlatans and the political charlatans that will come your way. Question everything. And I thought, that's pretty good advice, but he left one thing out. Uh, he didn't mention the scientific charlatans who would come our way. Because, see, people have this idea that science is an enemy of faith, and it's not real science. To give you an example, I recently saw a clip on somewhere, and the guy on it claimed that he was not a scientist, and he said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not either, by the way, I'm not a scientist. But he was talking about theories about the origin of life on this planet. Of course, there is no evidence of any of this, but the theories are now they're trying to replicate, or they're trying to create RNA. RNA is an organic compound that's necessary for life, like DNA. We all know DNA. These things are necessary for the reproduction of life. DNA carries genetic information from one generation to the next of whatever organism, and almost every form of life on this planet has DNA. There are one or two forms that don't, and if you look it up, there's a few that don't, but vastly, all the, I don't know, millions of different kinds of life on this planet have DNA. And the DNA is produced, the RNA works with that, and there are a number of other chemical necessities for life to exist. So this fellow was saying essentially that they're experimenting, and I read an article recently about they're experimenting on how RNA would happen accidentally. They're trying to make RNA in a laboratory, and having a difficult time of doing it. But the essence of what this fellow was saying was, well, we believe that RNA came into existence and began to replicate itself, is what he said. And I was thinking, RNA is not life. It's a compound necessary for life, but it's not life. So I typed a little comment in the bottom of the post, and I said, where has it ever been observed that non-life can replicate itself? Of course, I didn't get an answer. I didn't expect to get an answer. But it's like, I happen to find in my mess here in my little room, I found this. It's a rock. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where I got it. It's a souvenir from somewhere. But it's a rock. I wonder how many billions of years it will take for this rock to have a baby. I don't think, or even to just, maybe have a little, we could break it and make it two rocks, but then it would be two rocks half the size. But I wonder if it would ever replicate itself. I don't think so. And I don't think science, true, real science, which depends upon observation and experimentation and trying to get things to happen in a laboratory so we could examine and test and see. I don't think science has ever proven or has ever shown that non-living material can give birth, can replicate itself. So anyway, And people will watch that and they'll say, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Science falsely so-called. That's what Paul called it in his letter to Timothy. He said, don't get caught up in the babblings of science falsely so-called. Scientific charlatans. Yeah. Anyhow, hey, God bless you. Have a great evening. If you've never put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, you better do so, because he's alive. He's coming back. When he comes back, I want to be on his side. I hope you are too. God bless.